again with another, how did I title this? Who's Playing? I didn't put where I was going. Who's Playing? Alright. Second, third day probably.
Please drive to highlighted
listening
route.
To this record from Living Sacrifice.
Continue 0.8
listening
miles.
to
Then
the
turn left on East
album
Newport Center Drive.
Reborn from 1997. Christian death metal. It's the fifth album, I believe. The first three albums were more groove metal, metalcore. On this album that I'm listening to recently, Bruce Fitz Hutch. I don't know, I'm probably killing his name. Guitar player, he took on the vocals, so he's the one singing. It's a record from Solid State.
In 0.1 miles.
I wrote down some
turn
stuff
left on East Newport
just so I could
Center
have
Drive.
something
Then turn left.
else to put out besides what I know. It's 1997. It's
turn left on East Newport Center Drive.
One of the
then
bands
turn
that when I learned about, I'm like, I want to play like that. So I could probably say it's one of the bands that
turn left on Southwest
helped me
10th Street.
decide
Then
and
take ramp
influenced me a bit on going ahead and playing the style I played in Scrolls. Me being in church, a lot of churches, they are more of religion than, I don't know how to explain it. They go more by, they dictate. That's the word I'm looking for. And they're mostly all about, you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do this. And like I used to say back then, it's like, okay, so what can I do? You know, you're telling me all these things I can't do. And then when you decided to do something, it's like, oh, you can't do that. You know, religion. That's why right now I follow God. I don't follow a church. I do not follow a man in a tie on a pulpit.
Take ramp on right.
Speaking
to I-95
what
south.
They feel like saying just to fit in or not make people mad. Just talking what people want to hear, not what they need to hear. Enough rant. Going back to the CD. Living Sacrifice-Reborn. I got it off of Solid State catalog. Actually, it was Tooth and Nail. Tooth and Nail Solid State
9.5 miles on I-95
catalog.
south.
Influenced me a lot. One of the CDs me and the band will listen to while getting ready to practice and come up with songs and practice more. Try to get more into the center here. Like I said, the original guitarist is the one singing in this album. Death metal, pretty cool. I'll put it on a bit more here. I like the lyrics a lot. They're pretty understandable. They're not trying to hide behind poetry. I'm not criticizing bands that do. Some sound great, you know, but a lot of Christian bands tend to hide behind this poetry just to be more accepted and fit in more into the regular population, let's say. Like I said, there's nothing bad with that. One example comes to head is Demon Hunter. From my understanding, they've been Christian, but you have to like sit down and study their lyrics to basically understand really the message behind it. Yeah, so Living Sacrifice has short lyrics. I mean, you can look them on online and they seem pretty short. I think they focus more on the musical behind it, which is fine with me. I mean, they do a good job. They just don't crush on the strings, you know, and pound on the drums. It looks like they make sure that even though they play something heavy, that it also sounds good. Whoa, that guy is mad speedy. Lord protect him. Yeah, so before I leave, I want to put the last song on a moment here. It's like my favorite song from the record. I like them all, but it's just heavier, quicker, and take it off my chest kind of song is the way I describe it. Pretty sweet. I'll keep it short. I don't want to get cut off. And before I leave, yeah, I know I look funky in this hat. Probably doesn't look like my style, but it's Superman, so what can I do? And it's green, so I matched it with my shirt. I just came out of work, so yes, I went to work like this. I just forgot to change my piercings and left some blue ones on, so I don't match. But yeah, well, that's today's Who's Playing? Living Sacrifice-Reborn, 1997, on their Solid State Records. Look it up, buy it up. If you find it on vinyl, let me know. I would like to have that. Alright, keep being blessed.